Guys, this episode is giving you the tips you need so when you get to set and you're ready to shoot, the whole thing doesn't just fall apart and explode. And a lot of that comes down to planning. Tip 1. Things take a lot longer than expected. Even if you've got plans, they're gonna take long, guys. This is one of the most common things for people that are new to the film business. They're always like, oh my word, why are we still here? It's been half an hour, can't I go home? And I'm like, dude, we're gonna be shooting for 6 days. Why are you complaining? So whatever amount of time you were setting aside to film your video project, you gotta double it. Tip number 2, if you have anybody out there that's ever been on a film set before, invite them. Get them to come and help you. On a video project, experience goes a long way. If you've got someone who's been a cameraman or a boom swinger or whoever, but they've got filmmaking experience, they're gonna really be able to take your video project to the next level. Most of the time, the reason why we go so slow with filmmaking is because we just don't know what we're doing. And it's one of those things, it's like a pilot. You have to do the hours. You've got to get in the plane and fly in the sky for 10 million hours or whatever it is these days before you can actually officially get your pilot's license. The same thing is true with filmmaking. You need that experience on set. So if you can find someone in your church or whoever, down the road or in prison, get them out of prison, pay their bail, and get them onto your film set because they're gonna help you in a long way. Tip number 3, you don't need a fancy camera to make a movie. You literally don't. The camera I'm shooting on this right now is a very old camera. It's about 7 years old. Most of my filmmaking friends have upgraded a long time ago, but I'm still sitting here with this old school camera. It's called a Panasonic GH4. They came out in 2014 and I got this secondhand. I've got all my things secondhand. I've never ever bought a new camera. What is that? The crazy thing is this is an old camera, but no one really cares. I've used it to shoot actual TV shows that is on TV right now. There's a show on Cartoon Network that I filmed entirely with this. TV commercials, documentaries. I've been around the world with this little guy. The camera is not what's gonna make your film awesome, guys. There's a lot of things that are gonna make it awesome. The camera is one of them somewhere on the food chain, but it's not the most important thing. I hate to break it to you, all my DOPs. I love you guys. The most important thing on a low budget film in terms of gear is this. Audiences are forgiving of a crummy picture quality. They're not forgiving of crummy sound quality. As an example, when I'm talking to you right now, it sounds pretty good. But as soon as my audio starts to sound like it's gonna feel ooh, this is a low budget thing. So here's a fun tip. If you've only got enough budget for one thing and you've got to choose, do I get an experienced camera person or do I get an experienced sound person? No. Go with the sound person. Tip number 4, have a plan. It's another one of those killers, guys. It's you wouldn't even imagine how people don't plan for this kind of stuff. And I've learned the hard way myself. On some of my very first film shoots, I just rocked up there and I was like, okay, I guess you can stand over there and I think you can stand there and you can hold on and where am I? Have a road map, okay? Starting here and ending there. Whether you take shortcuts along the way, that's totally fine, but you gotta know where you're going. So the number 1 document you need on your plan, guys, besides the script, obviously the script is the Holy Bible. I mean, it's not the Holy Bible because it's a Christian vibe, but it's the Holy Bible, okay? Don't mess with the script. The second thing that you need is a shooting schedule. This is basically a schedule that says from 9 o'clock until 10 o'clock, we're gonna be shooting this scene. Then from 10 till 11, we're gonna be shooting that scene. And then we're gonna take a lunch break for 5 minutes while we running and moving lights. And then we're gonna carry on shooting. So a shooting schedule is vitally important, guys. Make sure you learn what that is, figure out how to do it, get that time management down and dusted. When it comes to planning, one of the other cool things to do is a location scout. This is when you actually go and check out the locations before you get there on the actual day. For instance, if you're shooting at a farm, make sure you've actually gone, looked at the farm beforehand. Does it exist? Yes. Is it radioactive or super dangerous? Is it legal? Hopefully, okay, cool, let's shoot there. Don't just rock up on the day and expect everything to work fine. Remember, the less planning you have, the more you're gonna probably mess up.
Number 6.
Another thing, guys, if you are the director, you want to try and make sure you can see the whole video in your head. In other words, we call this shooting for the edit. So when you get there, don't just shoot like random stuff that you're never gonna need for the final movie. Like, look, it's a pigeon, shoot the pigeon. And then like, cool, like it's a piece of grass, film the piece of grass. Don't get trigger happy and just shoot everything around you, because by the time you get to the editing suite and you sit down to try and cut this movie together, it's gonna take you a lot longer and you're gonna waste so much time and energy and relationships, and you're gonna just sit there and be like, what have I done? Make sure you can kind of map out most of the movie in your head, so when you get there, you know exactly what you need to shoot and what you don't need to shoot, most importantly.
That's a wrap!
Number 7.
One of the phrases that you kind of also want to avoid in the beginning is fix it in post. That just basically means like, oh, if it doesn't work right now, we can get to it later when we edit things. I mean, technically you can fix a lot of stuff in post. I've fixed some crazy stuff in post, but it takes a lot of time and it's going to take you a lot of cash, manpower. It's just not easy to fix things in post. Basically, bottom line, fix it on the day. If you're shooting something and a little fly lands on your main character's head and you just think to yourself, nah, I don't care, I'll just take that fly out when I start editing, you don't know a lot about editing, or flies for that matter. Just rather cut, go and like get the fly off the dude's head and then carry on shooting. Otherwise, it's just gonna make a whole bunch of work for yourself in the edit suite, and nobody wants that. Number 8. One of the main things that I've learned over the years of doing this is that filmmaking comes down to 2 words. There's 2 words that you can summarize the whole process in: problem solving. It's like you're at a wedding in the mountains and suddenly the toilet overflows, but at the same time, the groom's car breaks down, and by the way, the parents-in-laws have arrived at the airport and they're lost, and also the MC needs to hang a giant bouquet of flowers 30 meters above the foyer, and the bride's EpiPen has just gone missing, and if he doesn't find it in 5 minutes, she will die. That's kind of what it's like on a film set day in and day out. And for filmmakers, problem solving is our natural habitat. Be ready for the problems to come, like they're gonna come. It's just a matter of how quickly are you gonna solve them. So guys, that's pretty much all I want to say on this particular topic today, but I'll leave you this one thought. Creating something is so much fun. Like, it's literally the most fun you can have with your clothes on. Can I say that? This is a Christian vibe. Hey, I'm married. I'm going to say that. The bottom line is this, guys. Creating is fun. Like, and you got to have fun when you're out there. Don't take it too seriously. You get some guys who are all like, this is my baby, and like, nobody's going to touch my baby. But to be honest, nobody wants to touch your weird baby. Just like, put your baby down and make a film, right? Like, it's so much fun, and if you have the right attitude about it, if you're passionate, if you love creating, you love solving problems, it's gonna come so naturally to you. It's really awesome. One of the things I always think about when I'm out there creating and when I'm making stuff is that I'm doing what my God did in the very beginning. Like, the first thing that we are told about God in the whole Bible is this: in the beginning, God created. First 5 words out of the gate. He's a creator. He's like a filmmaker or an artist or a dancer. He's out there, he's doing that thing. Creativity and making things is at the heart of who our God is. When you step into that, when you start making, you're actually accessing the divine. You're actually like stepping into a part of what makes God come alive. So guys, I want to say, as you're out there making your films, make them with God. That's been something I've always done. And I involve God in the production because He's the great creator. He loves this kind of stuff. He loves making content. He wants to be part of that thing with you. So get out there, make some movies, guys, and we will see you on the next episode of Harnessing Film for the Gospel. Peace out.